Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So I decided to take a break from what I was doing here and post a quick channel update. All right. Those of you waiting for the rest of the Bible extractions, decodes, they will likely be coming. Very likely. All right. But we had to stop a minute. I had an opportunity to speak with my cousin over Christmas, and for the first time, he had an opportunity to look at our work. And uh, he expressed interest in it and thought it was interesting and interesting ties and interesting connections, but wasn't certain what would happen if you took random letters and did the same thing. And I said, well, define random at this point because we've already done so many decodes that even if I was trying to pull out random letters, I would most likely wind up with a series, that I've used or similar to one that I've used, even if subconsciously. Well, he pointed me to a random letter generator online, which there are a couple, and I found one. Okay, now I can actually get random letters that I'm not picking myself. And my fiance isn't picking. So we decided to go ahead and run and generate some random letter sequences, because if I was able to get these to go forwards and backwards through everything, convert them to numerology and get them to go forwards and backwards through everything, we might as well quit. And because then we can do it with random letters. And so far, I've done 4 random letter sequences. And what I did was we started with 9 just as a number. My fiance said the number 9, so I took 9 letters out of the random letter generator, had it generate me 9 letters. All right. Now, the first 9 letters that it generated me were BOMMSMFSZ. All right. So we ran that. Well, guys, I'm going to spare you all the details, but we failed to run backwards through medical. We ran into a wall. We couldn't get around it. We failed to run forwards through research groups. We ran into a wall. And we got some, don't get me wrong, we got some medical, we got some research groups. We even got it to run backwards in research groups. But we hit a wall running forwards. We hit a wall running backwards in medical. And when I converted these to numbers, we hit a wall running backwards in finance. So it did not run backwards through medical in the letters. It did not run forwards through research groups in the letters, and it did not run backwards in the numbers through finance. So we were 0 for 1. Well, that could be a coincidence because, it ran through genetics, it went ahead and ran through chemicals, it went ahead and ran through technology. All right. But we ran into a wall in 3 categories. Well, we haven't been running into walls with our changes now, have we? So far. We might have hit one in the very, very beginning before, when I didn't really have as good of an idea of what we were doing. But we got around, even that wall we got around. These I couldn't get around, and it just wouldn't come back all the way. It wouldn't go forward all the way, and that's how that worked. So we were 0 for 1, getting it to go all the way. And I stopped at numerology, right, because I said we were no longer going to use the binary to determine any sort of potential quantum network user, right? So, and another interesting thing was we didn't really run into anything that I would have circled to run my numbers against in that particular search. That was a 9 random letter search. There were all sorts of things, but none of it. I tried to do it as if I was looking for quantum network user, and I didn't see anything that would have led me to circle it. So to run my numbers back against, I would have just been, at that point, I just would have been picking some random thing and trying to run the number back to it, but that's not really what we're doing. So then we used a 4-letter search like MAWI. the Sherman to Sherwin-Williams, right? So that I counted 4 letters of one of our searches, and I randomly generated 4 letters. X, C, Z, Y were my 4 randomly generated letters. We failed to come backwards through medical. We didn't exactly fail to come backwards through chemical, but I got some questionable results on ZY that I wasn't sure if I would have included those results in our video for the changes. There was something there, but I'm not 100% certain I would have included it in if we were doing a video of the change of a decode. So I put a question mark by ZY because I wasn't 100% certain, and then this actually failed to come backwards through finance. So we're 0 for 2. And in this case, we had a 4-letter sequence that failed to go back through medical, shaky going back through chemical, and did not go back through finance of anything we would have included in a video. So then we were 0 for 2. All right, then I randomly generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-letter decode, which I counted off of one of our decodes. And our randomly generated 7 letters were TSJWRIC. Check. That did run all through the groups. Now, once again, I didn't really see anything that I would have circled. It was kind of more random. There wasn't much of a pattern within a pattern going on with it. Just some random stuff through the categories. But again, that one actually went, and then we were 1 for 3 random letter generated. And then we tried a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, an 8-letter search, which I counted 8 letters off of. I don't remember what change, but anyway, we ran 8 letters, and those 8 letters ended up being U, H, J, K, Z, D, F, Y. And I did not get all the way through before I decided to stop and make a video, because right away we failed to come backwards in the letters through finance, and we failed to go forwards through genetics. We ran into a wall. I can't get around. There's nothing I could do to make a sequence of those run in genetics, no matter how I put them. So my techniques to get around any potential wall did not work. And then already we are 1 of 4. That means out of 4 randomly generated letter sequences, I have only got 1 of them to run forwards and backwards through all the categories, through the letters and the numbers. And that's interesting. And again, I mean, I think one of these might have had a potential person I might have circled if we were looking for quantum network users. But beyond that, there really wasn't much of a pattern there. I mean, it ran through the categories. You did get some genes. Again, I'll spare them to you. My point here was, will they run? And so far, with randomly generated letters, we are 1 of 4 that ran all the way through. Now, and my cousin told me to run about 100, but we don't even have 100 ran. Okay, we don't. We don't have 100 ran, and of what we do have ran, we are pretty much 100% running through the categories. So, and in this case, we are 25% running through the categories. So I'll probably run a few more and see how they go. But as far as this control that my cousin suggested, and again, Megan suggested a control, and I didn't know what to compare it to. I didn't know, Well, there wasn't anything like the Mandela Effect, so what would you do? Well, randomly generate letters. Truly random. For me, anyway. They weren't picked by me, and I'll provide the link to this generator. And every time I just click refresh on the page and start over and get a whole new number sequence. And that's where we're at. We're at 25% getting them to run through the categories randomly, and more like 100% getting them to run through the categories um, with the changes. There seems to be more of a pattern with the changes. So it does seem different. And even the one that we got to run here does seem different. It doesn't, the pattern doesn't seem quite the same, although there's more of a pattern with those than with the others, with the other three. But the point is, with these Mandela effects, there's been a pattern seemingly every time so far. So far. And we've done considerably more than 4 Mandela effects this way. And so we have a very much higher rate of going through the categories with the effects than we do with the random number generator as of now. Considering 3 out of 4 would not go in all categories forwards and backwards, and only 1 would do it. Only one's random sequence. So that's where we're at. I'm probably going to finish this other one, but like I said, my point was it already failed in finance, and it already failed in genetics with the letters. That was pretty much a first for that, because finance, we were getting them to go every time, including the ones that failed up here in the letters anyway. The numbers even kind of surprised me that the numbers didn't come back. So yeah, we'll see, and we'll see what we make of it. My fiance and I will talk it over. We'll see what we make of it. We'll see what you guys make of it. This is what I did. Again, I just completely randomly generated letters from a random letter generator, an online tool that I will provide a link to. And again, this one failed. This one failed. This one succeeded. And this one has already failed. As opposed to our Mandela effects. So that's where we're at on a control group. That's the best thing I could think of, and now I'm running them. And although we are getting stuff, we are having a much higher failure rate for going through the categories. What does that mean? To be honest, I'm not 100% certain. Maybe it means that we're on the right track. But again, we'll run some more. I'll finish this one and probably run a couple more just to see if that seems to be the trend. And if it is the trend, then I think we can go back to our regular scheduled programming, to our regular scheduled decode. So, but I wanted to do this after my quantum physics guy telling me that I needed to randomly generate some numbers and see what happened. Well, this is what happened, and I should have wrote it all down, but more of the point was, will they go or will they not go? And if they do go, then if they were going to go, then of course I was going to start writing them down. But the point is, they didn't go. They did not go. 1 went out of 4 so far. So that's not actually a very good success rate of going through the categories so far for random letter sequences spit out by a random letter generator. So what do you guys think? Let us know what you think. But for now, we're going to carry on with this for a little bit and then probably proceed to back to the Bible extractions. So for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. And let us know what you guys think of one of 4 success rate with the randomly generated letters. Let's see what you guys think as well. So, for now, you guys have a great rest of your day. And by the way, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. And I hope everybody has a great New Year. So, um, all right. So that's it, guys. For now, you guys have a great rest of your day.